Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we are going deep, pitting the absolute giants of DeFi lending against each other. Aave, Compound, and of course, Spark. The goal here is simple, to give you a crystal clear understanding of how they work, how they differ, and where you might want to put your capital.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with the big dogs, the market leaders. Then we'll dissect their core philosophies and how they manage risk. After that, we'll get into the really cool, unique features. We'll see how they handle a crisis, bring in our third contender, Spark, and then wrap it all up with a framework to help you make your own call.
All right, let's jump right in and set the stage. We're talking about the two protocols that basically are the DeFi lending landscape for so many people, Aave and Compound. Now, just to wrap your head around the sheer scale we're dealing with, Aave, all by itself, has a total value locked, or TVL, of nearly $37 billion. That is a 50% market share. This isn't just some big player. Aave is a foundational pillar of the entire DeFi world.
Okay, so even though they're both titans, they come from very different places. You can think of Aave as the innovator, the one that's always pushing the envelope with new features and complex ways to use your money. Compound, on the other hand, is more like the bedrock. It's the OG, battle-tested, and built around a philosophy that really prioritizes security and simplicity over everything else.
Now, this is where things get really interesting. We're going to look at how those different philosophies actually get baked into the code, into their fundamental architecture, and how they think about risk. This is where you'll start to see why one might be a perfect fit for your strategy and the other not so much.
At the heart of literally every DeFi lending protocol is this one single, absolutely crucial concept: over-collateralization. You have to lock up collateral that's worth more than the loan you're taking out. It's the simple, elegant solution that keeps the whole system solvent and protects lenders in a world without trust.
And right away, you see a huge split in strategy. Aave is like this massive crypto supermarket. It offers a whole universe of assets you can lend and borrow. Amazing for flexibility. But Compound V3, it took a step back and went for a more focused, risk-siloed approach. By having you borrow one single base asset, it cleverly prevents a problem with one risky collateral type from spilling over and wrecking the whole protocol. It's a really powerful safety design.
So when you lay it all out like this, you can see how those different design choices create totally different risk-reward scenarios. With Aave, you've got your loan-to-value, which is how much you can borrow against your collateral, and then a slightly higher liquidation threshold, which is the danger zone. Compound's collateral factor is similar, but it's paired with a super aggressive and incentivized liquidation model. It's all about protecting the protocol, even if it means sacrificing a little bit of that flexibility.
Okay, let's get to the fun part, the game-changing features that really make these protocols stand out. And honestly, when you talk about innovation, you pretty much have to start with Aave. Aave's E-mode, wow, this is an absolute game changer for capital efficiency. Think about it. It lets you borrow up to almost 97% of your collateral's value, but only if the asset you're borrowing is super similar to your collateral, like borrowing USDC against your DAI. It's an incredibly powerful tool for maximizing leverage in a smart, risk-managed way.
And this just shows how they think about risk. Isolation mode is brilliant. It lets Aave experiment to list newer, maybe riskier tokens as collateral without putting the entire protocol's main liquidity pool on the line. It's basically a safe sandbox for onboarding new assets. And of course, Aave isn't sitting still. The next big thing is V4, and its promise of a unified liquidity layer. Now, this might sound technical, but it's a huge deal. It's trying to solve one of the most annoying problems in DeFi, liquidity being chopped up and stuck on different blockchains. If they pull this off, it could make the whole multi-chain world feel a lot more seamless. But here's the billion-dollar question. How do all these fancy designs and features actually perform when the market goes completely crazy? You know, theoretical safety is one thing, but surviving a real-world storm is something else entirely.
So let's look at how these protocols handle getting punched in the face. On one side, you have a simulation showing how Compound's liquidation engine is designed to stay profitable for liquidators even during insane volatility, which keeps the protocol safe. And on the other, you have real-world data from the Ethereum merge where Compound's borrow rate for ETH shot through the roof as the market tried to price in all that uncertainty.
Now, Aave, it faced a totally different kind of test during the merge. It was a classic DeFi arbitrage play. Super savvy borrowers realized they could borrow a ton of ETH, get the forked ETHW token for free, and then pay the loan back. This created a temporary liquidity crunch and sent interest rates soaring, which was a perfect live demonstration of how its interest rate models react to a sudden, massive demand shock.
All right, time to bring our third contender into the ring, Spark Protocol. And this one is a bit of a curveball because its relationship with Aave and the rest of DeFi is, well, it's unique.
You see, Spark isn't really trying to be just another competitor. It's a core, strategic piece of the whole MakerDAO puzzle. This quote from BitGet Research really nails it. It's designed to be the liquidity and yield infrastructure layer for Maker. It's a tool, built for a purpose. So here's the key takeaway. Spark didn't reinvent the wheel. It very smartly took Aave's incredibly secure, battle-tested V3 code and repurposed it to serve as a high-efficiency yield engine, mostly for MakerDAO's own benefit. It's less of a direct competitor and more like a symbiotic partner that leverages the best of Aave's tech.
Okay, so after all that, how do you actually make a choice? How do you decide which of these protocols is the right home for your strategy and for the keys secured on your hardware wallet?
It really boils down to a simple trade-off between two philosophies. Aave's for the power user. It's for the person who craves flexibility, who wants the widest possible range of assets, and wants advanced features like E-mode to optimize every last dollar. Compound is for the user who prioritizes simplicity and security, who wants a straightforward, conservative protocol that just works.
And look, no matter which protocol you land on, your number one priority has to be security. And that is where hardware wallets are non-negotiable. Whether using a Tangem card or a Ledger device, they keep your private keys completely offline, which is the only way to safely interact with these incredibly powerful DeFi protocols.
And honestly, connecting is dead simple. You just go to the dApp's website, hit Connect Wallet, choose the Wallet Connect option, and scan the QR code with your Tangem app. From then on, every single transaction has to be physically approved by you by tapping your card. It's the gold standard for a reason.
So in the end, the choice really reflects your own personal DeFi thesis. Are you here for maximum flexibility and cutting-edge innovation? Or do you value battle-hardened simplicity and a more conservative approach to risk? Which of these lending titans truly aligns with your vision for the future of finance? The choice is yours.